Israel's Security Cabinet approves declaration of war.
Here's a summary of the article.
The Security Cabinet approved a declaration of war on Saturday night in accordance with Article 40 of the Basic Law, the cabinet said Sunday. Article 40 allows the government to order significant military action that may lead, with a level of probability close to certain, to war. The Prime Minister will be able to make certain decisions with only the approval of the Security Cabinet as well. The Cabinet also requested that the Knesset approve the activation of emergency regulations which would allow detainees to be held for extended periods without the detainee being brought before a court.
This post received a score of 12,000, with an upvote ratio of 94%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
Formal declaration of war. That's a very rare occurrence in the modern day.
I find it very weird that such a large attack could go under the radar of Mossad.
There's several hypotheses to this, from what I've seen, but no true theories. The first is that aid from Iran was simply more effective than you'd think in concealing these movements. The second is pure, dumb luck. The third is some kind of internal treachery. The fourth, a bit out there, is proposing that they may have allowed the attack to have a pretext for the war itself, certainly driving up support that the government lacked recently, due to its authoritarian moves. Hard to say quite yet which of these, if any, are true.
Question: what exactly does this mean? Countries rarely declare war anymore, so I wonder what practical effects does it make when a country declares war?
The country goes into wartime production. An emergency government is possibly established. Most official functions get put on hold, at least initially. All soldiers are called back to service. All troops are called up from reserves, and conscription likely begins. Israel is a military state. They produce a lot of their own arms and munitions. Those weapons manufacturers will be given effectively unlimited funding to start producing whatever they can as fast as possible. The entire landscape of the country changes.
Slight correction, it gives the Ministry of Defense authority to do all of what you mentioned. Whether they decide to implement that partially or fully will depend on whether Iran and Hezbollah decide to join or not. But we need to be prepared for that option.
How credible is a military intervention by Iran? And would the US get involved if they did?
Iran hasn't used its military in a direct war since Iraq in the 80s. Not very likely. They can use their proxy militias in Syria and Lebanon and provide them arms and funds. They may choose to utilize long-range missiles, but those are not an existential threat to Israel as long as they are not nuclear.
Long-range missiles would be too direct an act of war. Iran is opportunistic, but not stupid. Also, given how much of their own population despise the government, I could see that there would be plenty of rebel groups suddenly getting funded in case of war.
Spontaneous colt assembly. A phenomena, believed to be macroscopic quantum in nature, by which a large number of M16s mysteriously appear in a given area.
Are M16s made by Colt? There's so many gun companies that make Arkansas 15S parts that I never really thought about who makes the military ones.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.